Welcome to An Insider's Guide, an educational program on Giacomo Puccini's renowned opera La Bohème. In this program, we will delve into the various aspects of this masterpiece, including the story behind its selection, the narrative itself, the creation of its lyrics, the composition process, and the characters that bring the opera to life. We'll learn the following. What is an opera? How was this opera story chosen? What is the story about? How were the lyrics written? Who was the composer? How was it composed? Who are the characters? How was the scenery chosen? How was the cast chosen? What are some of the acting challenges? What is an opera? A play or a story set to music. La Bohème is an Italian opera in 4 acts composed by Giacomo Puccini. Its libretto, the script, is by Giuseppe Giacosa and Luigi Illica. How is this opera's story chosen? La Bohème's story was based on Henri Murger's 1851 novel Scènes de la vie de Bohème, which means Scenes from Bohemian Life, which came to be known as The Bohemians. This book chiefly distinguished him and was based on his own experiences as a desperately poor writer living in a Parisian garret, the top floor of buildings where artists often lived. He was a member of a loose club of friends who called themselves the Water Drinkers because they were too poor to afford wine. Murger was born in 1822. His literary career began about 1841 when he published The Bohemians in a periodical called The Corsaire. This book was turned into a play in 1849 and met with phenomenal success. He died in 1861 at age 39. What is The Bohemians about? The story is true to nature and is a series of sketches of real life. The experiences related are actual ones. The characters existed and can be readily identified. Murger drew inspiration from his own experiences and the people he encountered in his daily life. The characters in The Bohemians are portrayed as struggling young artists who face poverty and romantic entanglements. Murger aimed to capture the essence of their lives and the vibrant atmosphere of the Bohemian culture in Paris. Many of the characters are believed to be based on Murger's real-life acquaintances from the Bohemian circles he frequented. For example, the character of Rodolphe in the novel shares similarities with Murger himself, reflecting the author's own experiences as a struggling writer and poet. Like Rodolphe, Murger edited fashion papers to make money. He worked late at night struggling to polish a phrase and was a most conscientious artist. Schaunard is Alexandre Schahn. He was at first destined for an artistic career as a painter, which he quit to take up the piano and was a successful composer. He became acquainted with Murger in 1841, and for some time they lived together, their friendship continuing until Murger's death. Marcello is composed of 2 artists. One was Tabar, a young painter of some talent and extraordinary strength. The incident of the passage of the Red Sea relates to him. He, indeed, began a large picture of this subject, but the cost of the models, costumes, etc. proved beyond his means. He resolved, therefore, to modify the composition of the picture, which worked out successfully. Colline was made up of 2 men. One of them wore a long brown greatcoat of coarse cloth stuffed with books, and he carried books under his arms. He was known as a library on 2 legs. He became a voluminous writer on ecclesiastical and theological topics. Benoit was a well-known landlord of the Hotel Merciole in the Rue des Canettes. Mimi was a mix of women, one of whom was Marie, who was compassionate towards Murger. Sean mentions meeting Murger and Marie together several times at the masked balls at the opera. She was a frail, delicate-looking woman with a pale complexion and blue eyes. She died of pulmonary tuberculosis at the hospital, for Monsieur Benoit would not allow a death in his house, and Murger, not having been informed in time, could not claim her body. Murger always carried some love tokens: a velvet mask, a woman's gloves, and a faded bouquet. They had been Marie's. Musetta was based on a woman named Mariette, who was a beautiful model highly esteemed by both painters and sculptors. She was fully conscious of her plastic value and was ready at the slightest provocation to reveal it. In 1863, she embarked on a boat that was never more heard of from the moment of departure, and poor Mariette and her treasure lie at the bottom of the Mediterranean. The places in the Bohemians were real. The Café Mamousse was a real establishment that Murger frequented. It was located at number 15 of the Rue des Prêtres Saint-Germain, l'Auxerrois. The house still stands, but now shelters other industries. Murger and his friends preferred the upstairs room where smoking was allowed. Many artists frequented the establishment. Murger sought to create a realistic and authentic portrayal of Bohemian life in Paris during that time. Murger's real-life acquaintances and his Bohemian community influenced the characterization, interactions, and dynamics portrayed in the novel. The story revolves around the passions and challenges these characters face in their pursuit of love and artistic dreams, depicting their relationships, their conflicts, and the tragic consequences that unfold. Murger's vision and descriptions continue to capture the imagination of audiences throughout the world and serves as a legacy of the Parisian Bohemians. How were the lyrics written? Puccini, along with his librettists Luigi Illica and Giuseppe Giacosa, found this novel's storyline captivating and decided to adapt it into an opera. It is worth noting that when Giacomo Puccini and his librettists adapted Scènes de la vie de Bohème into the opera La Bohème, they made some modifications to the characters and story to suit the requirements of the operatic medium. However, the core essence of the characters and the Bohemian lifestyle remained intact, capturing the spirit of Murger's original work. About the librettists, the script writers. Giuseppe Giacosa was born in 1847 in Colleretto, Parella, Italy. Though he gained a degree in law, he did not pursue a legal career. He gained fame as a playwright and wrote opera libretti in collaboration with Luigi Illica for Puccini's 3 operas, Tosca, La Bohème, and Madama Butterfly. Luigi Illica was born in 1857 in Castel Arguato, Italy, and became a playwright of considerable quality. He wrote opera libretti for many well-known composers, including Puccini, in which he collaborated for Manon Lescaut, Tosca, La Bohème, and Madama Butterfly. His personal life sometimes imitated his libretti. The reason he was always photographed with his head slightly turned is because he lost his right ear in a duel over a woman. About the composer, Giacomo Puccini was born in 1858 into an Italian musical family that spanned many generations. He learned how to play the organ and piano at a very young age and went on to study composition at the Milan Conservatory. He was known primarily for his operas and regarded as the most successful proponent of Italian opera after Verdi. His early works were in the Romantic style, but later he started composing in the Verismo style, a style distinguished by realistic, sometimes sordid or violent depictions of everyday life. Tosca was arguably Puccini's first foray into Verismo. Puccini's most renowned works are Tosca, La Bohème, Madama Butterfly, and Turandot, all of which are among the most frequently performed and recorded of all operas. How was the opera composed? Puccini composed La Bohème between 1893 and 1895, dedicating meticulous attention to the music's emotional depth and dramatic impact. He used a combination of traditional opera structures and innovative techniques to convey the story's essence. Puccini's composition reflects the character's emotions and the atmosphere of the Bohemian lifestyle through captivating melodies, lush harmonies, and powerful orchestrations. The opera features a variety of musical styles from passionate arias to enchanting ensemble pieces and lively street scenes. Who are the leading characters? La Bohème boasts a memorable cast of characters, each with their distinct personality and role within the story. Rodolfo is a passionate poet, Mimi, a delicate seamstress, Marcello, a talented painter and Rodolfo's best friend, Musetta, a vibrant and seductive singer, Colline, a philosopher and close friend of Rodolfo and Marcello, Schaunard, a musician and another member of the group, Benoit, the landlord, Alcindoro, Musetta's wealthy and often deceived suitor. These characters, with their unique traits and interactions, contribute to the opera's emotional depth and captivating narrative. What are some of the famous numbers in this opera? Quando men vo is known as Musetta's waltz. Musetta has just arrived at the Café Momus. In the presence of her Bohemian friends, she hopes to reclaim the attention of her occasional boyfriend, Marcello. Che gelida manina is an aria where the character Rodolfo expresses his instant infatuation and admiration for Mimi, a young woman he has just met. The aria showcases Rodolfo's romantic nature and sets the stage for the unfolding love story between him and Mimi throughout the opera. Mi chiamano Mimi is a heartfelt aria and introspective solo where the character Mimi introduces herself to Rodolfo, revealing her tender and delicate nature. How was the scenery chosen? La Bohème's story takes place in actual places in Paris. Acts 1 and 4 take place in a garret apartment and is described as follows: a large window with a view of an expanse of snow-covered roofs, a stove, a table, a cupboard, a small bookcase, 4 chairs, an easel, a bed, some books, many bundles of paper, 2 candlesticks, a door. Act 2 takes place in the Latin Quarter of Paris on Christmas Eve. It is described as a square at the intersection of several streets, shops of all kinds. On one side, the Café Mamos. Here is what Lot's Act 2 design is. Act 3 takes place at the Barrière d'Enfer. It is the end of February. Snow is everywhere. At the left, there is a tavern and a small yard in front of a toll gate. The tavern displays Marcello's painting, The Passage of the Red Sea. On the tavern, inscribed in large letters, is, At the Port of Marseille. On one side of the entrance is a fresco of a Turk. The wall of the tavern, which faces the toll gate, has a ground floor window from which light is shining. Flanking the toll gate yard are tall gray plane trees. Between the trees stands a marble bench. As the curtain rises, the scene is plunged into the uncertainty of dawn's first light. From the tavern at intervals, one hears loud voices, clinking glasses, and laughter. How was the cast chosen? They were chosen by their skill and their voice types. Characters' voices must be appropriate for the demands of the music. Rodolfo is a full lyric tenor, a male singer which is typically the highest vocal category for men. The term full lyric refers to a specific type of tenor voice characterized by its warm, expressive, and melodious qualities. The voice possesses a rich timbre and can convey a wide range of emotions, often with a lyrical and romantic quality. Full lyric tenors exhibit agility, flexibility, and the ability to sustain long, soaring phrases with ease. Mimi is a full lyric soprano, a warm, rich, and resonant voice which exhibits agility, flexibility, and dynamic control, effortlessly navigating through melodic passages while conveying a wide range of emotions. Full lyric sopranos can project and resonate well in large performance spaces. They are versatile performers capable of tackling various genres and roles with technical precision and expressive depth. Marcello is a lyric baritone, a male singer which is in the middle vocal range for men. The term lyric refers to a specific type of baritone voice characterized by its smooth, melodic, and expressive qualities. It has a warm and resonant timbre, often with a velvety texture. Lyric baritones possess a versatile range, allowing them to sing both lower and higher notes with clarity and control, and they excel in portraying emotional depth and storytelling in their performances. Musetta is a soubrette soprano, a female singer specifically known for its light and agile qualities. The term soubrette refers to a specific type of soprano voice characterized by its youthful, charming, and often comedic character portrayals. It has a bright and clear timbre and can perform with clarity and sparkle. Soubrette sopranos excel in agile melodic passages, often displaying a playful and flirtatious demeanor while maintaining a delicate and sweet vocal quality. What are some of the acting challenges of La Bohème? This renowned opera presents several acting challenges for performers. Here are some of the key ones. La Bohème is a deeply emotional opera. Actors must convey the raw and intense emotions of their characters convincingly, which requires a high level of emotional vulnerability and the ability to connect with the audience on an emotional level. La Bohème is known for its naturalistic portrayals of everyday life called verismo. The characters are ordinary people living in 19th century Paris, and actors must strive to depict them in a realistic and relatable manner that is genuine and believable. The relationships between the characters in La Bohème are crucial to the opera's narrative. Actors must establish a strong chemistry and connection with their fellow cast members, particularly in portraying the central love story between Mimi and Rodolfo. Opera is a highly physical art form. and actors in La Bohème must be mindful of their physicality and movements on stage. They need to navigate the set, interact with props, and engage in various actions while singing, which requires precision and coordination. Performers must master the art of vocal acting to convey the emotions and intentions of their characters, employing techniques such as phrasing, dynamics, and vocal color to enhance the dramatic impact of their performances. This requires a deep understanding of the music and the ability to communicate its meaning effectively. Performers need the physical and mental stamina to maintain their energy, focus, and emotional intensity throughout the production. They must pace their performances to deliver a compelling portrayal from the beginning to the end. Although La Bohème is set in the past, actors must approach their characters with an understanding of the historical and social context of 19th century Paris, incorporating the cultural nuances and societal norms of the era. Overall, the challenges in performing La Bohème lie in creating authentic, emotionally charged portrayals of relatable characters while balancing the demands of vocal technique and physicality on the operatic stage. Meeting these challenges requires a combination of artistic skill, technical proficiency, and a deep understanding of the characters and their motivations. Discussion topics. How does La Bohème explore the complexities of romantic love and relationships? What insights does La Bohème provide into the bohemian lifestyle and the role of art in society? In what ways does La Bohème depict socioeconomic inequality and its impact on the characters' lives? How does La Bohème address the theme of illness and mortality, particularly through the character of Mimi? What is the significance of friendship and camaraderie among the bohemian artists in La Bohème? How does La Bohème portray acts of sacrifice and selflessness in the context of love and friendship? What themes of nostalgia and the passage of time are explored in La Bohème? Conclusion. Exploring Puccini's La Bohème provides us with a deeper understanding of this iconic opera. We have learned about the selection of the story, the narrative itself, the creation of its lyrics, the composition process, and the memorable characters that bring the opera to life. La Bohème continues to enchant audiences worldwide, leaving an indelible mark on the world of opera and its timeless themes and exquisite music. Thank you for watching La Bohème, an Insider's Guide.